Oi.
Trying to get to our position. Inbound! Inbound!
Welcome back, action fans. Get ready to fuel your adrenaline. I'm bringing you a full-throttle ride through 10 explosive and intense action movies that will blow your mind. From bone-crunching fights to brutal shootouts, this list climbs from pulse-pounding tension to full-blown chaos. Buckle up, because you do not want to miss number 1 on this list. All right, let's dive straight in.
Trying to get to our position. Inbound! Inbound!
Warfare. A high-stakes surveillance mission takes a deadly turn for a platoon of American Navy SEALs deep in insurgent territory in Iraq. What starts as quiet recon spirals into sheer chaos when their cover is blown, turning the mission into a desperate fight for survival. The raw intensity feels so real, you'll be gripping your seat as the team battles impossible odds. Warfare delivers authentic military action with the heart-pounding energy of a war zone, where every decision counts. If you love military action grounded in grit and strategy, this one is a must. Alright, we're opening fire with Freelance. And trust me, this is the perfect movie to warm up your adrenaline. John Cena steps out of the wrestling ring and right into the battlefield, playing an ex-Special Forces operative who's pretty much given up on heroics.
Welcome to Bologna.
President Venegas, so nice to meet you.
He's stuck in a dead-end security job until he lands an assignment that sounds almost too routine. Babysit a journalist as she interviews the ruthless dictator of a volatile nation. You've got shootouts that'll leave your ears ringing, brutal hand-to-hand combat scenes, and Cena flexing both his muscles, and surprisingly sharp comedic timing. It's the kind of old-school, switch-your-brain-off action that's perfect for when you just want to sit back, grab some popcorn, and watch chaos unfold.
Oi.
Duchess. We follow a deadly female assassin, known only as the Duchess, who's carved out a reputation as one of the most lethal operatives in the underground world. But when she becomes entangled in a high-stakes conspiracy, it's not just her life on the line. It's a full-blown international bloodbath waiting to erupt. It's not just a revenge mission or an assassin's tale. It's a story about survival, identity, and breaking free from the chains of your past. She absolutely owns the screen with a magnetic presence that demands your attention. If you want a fresh, fierce, and ferocious action film from this year, Duchess belongs at the top of your playlist. VIP, a North Korean defector, wanted by both South Korea and the US, becomes the target of an international manhunt. But here's the twist. This is no innocent fugitive. He's a sadistic killer who leaves a trail of bodies in his wake as law enforcement agencies clash over jurisdiction. One determined South Korean detective vows to stop at nothing to bring him down. Brutal, relentless, and gripping from start to finish, VIP is a high-stakes cat-and-mouse game filled with nail-biting, tension, and explosive confrontations. This is a dark, unforgiving ride, and one you won't soon forget. Believer. This film is a gritty, high-stakes battle between law enforcement and the criminal underworld. We follow a relentless detective, played with ferocious intensity by Cho Jin-woong, who's obsessed with taking down the biggest drug cartel in Asia. But hunting a phantom kingpin, known only as Mr. Lee, is no easy task. As the bodies pile up and the stakes rise, our detective must dive deep into a violent, unpredictable underworld, forging dangerous alliances with cartel defectors and playing a lethal game of deception. The action scenes explode with brutal force, yet the tension never really lets go, even in the quiet moments. Gunfights are gritty and realistic, and there's a rawness to the violence that makes you wince in your seat. Believer becomes one of the most compelling action thrillers in recent. The Roundup, Punishment, and trust me, this one is ferocious. Our favorite unstoppable detective is back, this time taking on a deadly online gambling crime ring. But this isn't just about the money, it's about revenge, justice, and unleashing brutal punishment on those who think they're above the law. Expect bone-breaking brawls, explosive set pieces, and charisma that leaps off the screen. The pacing is relentless, the action choreography top tier, and the satisfaction of watching justice served is just chef's kiss. If you're craving raw, unapologetic action, The Roundup, Punishment delivers in spades. The Child, a stylish, adrenaline-charged thriller that hooks you from the first scene. A struggling boxer with a hidden past finds himself suddenly targeted by relentless killers, forcing him into a deadly cat-and-mouse chase across Seoul. With nowhere safe to hide, he's thrust into a violent underworld where survival depends on instincts as sharp as his punches. The Child is a roller coaster of intense chases, brutal fights, and stylish cinematography that makes every frame pop. The storytelling grips you tight, peeling back layers of mystery as the action ramps up to fever pitch. This is the kind of film that keeps your heart racing long after the credits roll. The Raid 2. Picking up right after the events of the first film, we follow Rama, the rookie cop turned unstoppable force, as he goes undercover to infiltrate Jakarta's brutal criminal empire. What unfolds is a symphony of violence, bone-crunching, hand-to-hand combat, chaotic prison riots, high-speed car chases, and ferocious weapon battles. The Raid 2 doesn't just raise the stakes, it demolishes them, setting a new gold standard for action cinema worldwide. Fight or flight. Picture this: a seasoned mercenary, cool under pressure, and lethal with every move, is hired for what seems like a straight-up retrieval mission. The target? A mysterious high-value asset known only as the Ghost. Nobody knows who they really are, but everyone wants them silenced. The mission is set aboard an international flight, 30,000 feet in the sky. No backup, no escape, just metal walls. As our merc closes in on their mark, they realize the truth. The plane is crawling with assassins, each deadlier than the last, all with the same bloodthirsty objective: eliminate the Ghost and anyone standing in their way. If you're craving a heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat thrill ride that keeps you guessing until the very last second, Fight or Flight is your must-watch. Push. A film that's aged like fine wine for fans of stylish, sci-fi-infused action. In Push, the world is populated by individuals gifted with psychic powers. You've got movers, who can manipulate objects with their minds, pushers, who can plant thoughts into your head, and watchers, who can see into the future. These people are hunted by a shadowy government division known only as Division. Their goal? Turn these gifted individuals into weapons. Chris Evans plays Nick, a second-generation telekinetic trying to live under the radar in the neon-lit streets of Hong Kong. When a mysterious girl with precognitive abilities shows up on his doorstep, they're thrust into a breakneck race against time, dodging assassins and outsmarting government agents. If you're into action with a side of superhuman powers and conspiracies, Push is a must-watch. There you have it. 10 explosive and intense action movies that will keep your adrenaline pumping from start to finish. Which one are you watching first? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you loved this list, make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more weekly action-packed recommendations and ring that notification bell so you never miss the next adrenaline rush. See you in the next video.